Hello, good afternoon everyone. Welcome back to my channel. As yesterday we have discussed about Indus Valley civilization. The next topic in Indian history is the Vedic period. So in this Vedic period, we will discuss about two Vedic periods, that is the early Vedic period as well as the later Vedic period. So the Vedic period started from 1500 to 600 till 600 BCE. Okay. And in this Vedic period, we have two ages. The first is early Vedic age and the second one is later Vedic age. For now, just know that in early Vedic age, Rig Veda was composed, and in the later Vedic age, the rest of the books, Yajur, Sam and Atharva Veda was composed. So, the people of early Vedic age mostly were the Aryans. So let us first discuss about Aryans. Aryans. So if we say Aryans, now the question arises: who were they? From where did they come? How did they consolidate themselves here in India? And for what? What was the purpose of coming to India? So let us discuss one by one. The first question is, who are they? Who are they? Who are they simply means the Aryans. Number two, from where did they came? From where they came. Number three, how did they consolidated themselves? And number four, for what? For what simply means the reason behind coming to India. See, this Vedic age topic is very lengthy. So today I think if possible I'll be covering this early Vedic age, because the topic early Vedic itself is very lengthy. So I will give my best effort to make as short as possible, but covering those important points which is very much important for the examination point of view. Okay, so regarding these Aryans, the first question that usually come to our mind is, who are they? And the second one is, from where did they came? How did they consolidate themselves in India? And for what? What was the reason? So the first theory behind this question is, the Aryans actually they were linguistic communities. Linguistic community. If you say linguistic community, linguistic community simply means a group of persons speaking different languages. Okay, but that language is very much similar. For example, nowadays in India also we have lots of linguistic communities, such as for example we speak Hindi and the Punjabis speak Punjabis. But if you know Hindi, then you would be able to understand Punjabis as well. This is linguistic communities speaking different language but having similar commands or similar types of, their language is little bit similar, so that you would be able to understand. So these are the Aryans. They are linguistic groups. Okay, they are in linguistic group, spoke same group of languages. Their languages were little bit similar, but not that similar, a bit different. Okay. So the first question is over. Actually, in some books you will find that they are superior race. Okay, but although they are superior race, but they are also linguistic community. Okay, they spoke the same language. But the sounding, the tone of that language is little bit different. Okay, now the second question is, from where did they came? And here also there is different types of theories, but the main theory behind this is they came from Central Asia, especially from the steppe grassland area. Grassland stretching from Let me erase this one. Okay, from now on. They came from steppe grassland area. Steppe grassland. And that area stretches from Poland till Russia. This is the area from which the Aryans came. Okay, they came from this steppe grassland area. Now you would be wondering why the people of steppe grassland area came to India. Okay, that I will answer later on. But for now, just know that they came from Central Asia, and that Central Asia, the geographical stretch of area is from Poland till Russia. Now the next question is, how did they consolidated themselves? As we know that, you might not be knowing, but the Aryans were nomads before they came to India. Okay, they were nomads. They were pastoral person. They used to they used to domesticate animals. They used to take their sheep, cows to the fields, to the grasslands, to let them have to feed them. But due to non-availability of grasses in these areas, what did the Aryans did? They usually moved towards, this is, for example, this is the map of India. Okay, this is Kashmir. From these places, as there were no enough grasses for their cattle, they started moving towards the eastern part of their place, and finally they came here at the Hindu Kush mountain, and they crossed through this Hindu Kush and they entered the India, and then they entered our country. They consolidated because in search of pasture land or grassland, especially for rearing their cattle. Okay. Now the next thing is for what? For what? As I have already explained you, this is not that necessary. This is important also, but I have already explained you in the third point itself that as they were nomads, as they rear cattle, so to feed the cattle, they have to search good grasslands, right? They have to search places where there is plenty of foods for their cattle. So they move towards the places of this grassland, towards the extreme right towards India. So this was the purpose behind coming to India. They did not come for loot or to take any territory, but they came in search of grasslands. Okay. So this was about the Aryans in short. Now let us come to the main point, the first topic, that is early Vedic period. So today we are going to cover only the early Vedic period, because if we will be able to we will be trying to cover both the early Vedic and later Vedic, then it would be a very big and very long video. So it would be kind of boring for you. So today I will be covering only the part of early Vedic age, and early Vedic age till 1500 to 1000 BCE. This age is known as early Vedic age. So within here we will be discussing about the topic of economy, the economy of the early Vedic age, the geography of the early Vedic age, the polity, society, and the religion. These are the topic which we are going to cover in early Vedic age. So make sure that you note down the important topics, because here I am going to cover all those topics which have been asked in previous examinations, whether it may be in UPSC examination, APPSCE examination, or APSSB examination. So please keep in mind. So the first topic that we will cover here is regarding the geographical extent of early Vedic age. Geography of early Vedic age. Okay. Where from which extent, from which place till which place this early Vedic age flourished. Okay. The first place is northwest frontier front. If you are a geography student, history student, you might be knowing this place, northwest frontier front, especially from Punjab, Pakistan. This area is especially known as northwest frontier front. Okay. Second, Punjab, Haryana, northern Rajasthan, and some part of Kashmir. So this was the extent of early Vedic age. From northwest frontier front, see this area is known as northwest frontier front. This is Kashmir and Haryana, northern Rajasthan till Kashmir. This was the extent of early Vedic age. But later on, they moved towards the Gangetic plains. Okay. And in this early Vedic age, Himalaya was mentioned in Rig Veda as Jambat Parvat. Himalaya. Okay, Himalaya was mentioned as Jamwant Parvat. It is mentioned in Rig Veda. Okay. So this was the geographical extent. So we will see the rivers in which the early Vedic age people settled, and the river basins, because earlier, not only in earlier age but in today's age also, you see most of the civilization, most of the countries, most of the cities that are located is nearby the banks of rivers. Okay, so rivers plays a very crucial role in settlement of the people. So in those age also, the people, the Vedic age people, they settled along the rivers, the Sapt Sindhu, 7 rivers. So I will give you the names of the rivers, just note it down. River mentioned Sapt Sindhu, 7 rivers. Sapt Sindhu, or the 7 rivers. And those 7 rivers, currently it is known, presently it is known, the present name as well as the original name which was mentioned in the Rig Veda, I will give that also. Presently, number 1, Indus. Indus, we know present that it is in Pakistan, Indus river, but at that time it was known as Sindhu. Originally it was known as Sindhu. Second, Bias. And Bias, it was originally known as Vipasa. Number 3, Chenab, originally Aksini. Number 4, Ravi Purasani. Number 5, Jhelum Vitasta. Number 6, Seluj Satudri. And the last one, that is Saraswati Nadiratna. And out of these 7 rivers, the most important river is Sindhu. This one is the most important one, and the most sacred one, that every rituals were practices. They practice every ritual in this river, Saraswati, Nadiratna. Every religious practices were done in this Saraswati river. So these two rivers are little bit important from all this Sapt Sindhu. So this was the, in short, this was the geographical extent of early Vedic age. Okay. Now coming to the next point, that is economy. So if we say economy, what is the thing that comes in your mind? If we say economy, the thing that comes in your mind is simply means what was their main occupation? How did they earn? How did they live? How did they live? How was their livelihood? How did they look after their family? This is simply economy. Okay. So the early Vedic age people economy, they were simply pastoralists. They were pastoralists. Pastoralist simply means they used to rear cattle. Okay, they used to rear cattle from this place to another. And they were even nomad also. They were nomad, but before coming to India, they were nomad. But after coming to India and after settling here, they started agriculture. Okay. After coming to India, they started agriculture. But agriculture was not that important in early Vedic age. The main important was cattle rearing. The main important occupation of that time was cattle rearing, and cattle rearing, especially cow, because from cow they get milk product, all the milk product, as well as they used to plow their fields. Okay, that's why in the early Vedic age cow was given a very important place, and to protect their cow even there was battles, and the battle was organized by the kings. Okay, so in early Vedic age cow was very important, and and for this numbers of there has been so much of mention in the early Vedic Rig Veda, especially words like Gavisti. Gavisti simply means search for cow. Search for cow. The terms Gavisti, these terms were mentioned in Rig Veda. Gavisti means search for cow. Gopa. Gopa. Gopa were the name given to cows. Okay, it was the name given to cow. Name given to cow. Gopa. Okay. So this was the economy of early Vedic age, and the crops which they mainly grow was crops, wheat, barley, etc. These were the two staple crops which the people of early Vedic age especially grow in their fields. And wheat was known as Goduna. Goduna, and barley was known as Yava. Sometimes such questions are given in objective type question. In early Vedic age, what was the name given to barley? So remember, it is Yava. So this was in short the economy of the early Vedic age. See, I am not going into that detail, because if I go to that detail then the topic would be very lengthy, because I have to cover two topics, early Vedic age and later Vedic age, and in today's video I'd be able to cover only this early Vedic age only, because even this topic is also very lengthy. So please bear with me and keep watching, and if you think that this topic is this point is important, please note it down, because I am giving all the topics and I have choose all the topics from all the competitive exams only. I have not took all the random questions. Okay, so keep that in mind and do start making notes, because if you make your own notes then it will be easier for you to understand. So the next thing is polity of polity of early Vedic age. Okay, now we'll see the polity. In case of polity, there was a head. for the king. King was the head of early Vedic age, and he was known as Rajan. Okay, he was known as Rajan, and during that time, early Vedic age, there was three important assembly. Three important assembly was held. First, Sabha. Number 2, Samiti. And number 3 is Vidhata. These are the 3 important assembly. So, this Sabha is very important. Why it is very important? Because it is not that big. The members here are very less. Okay, there is not much participation here, but they usually decide the top decision, the decisions of the whole area. Okay, what should they do, or what is the most important thing, especially like the Council of Ministers. Now in present day, if you see, the top decisions are taken by the Council of Ministers and the Prime Minister. So in this case also, in early Vedic age also, the Sabha decided the most important decisions. They took the most important decisions. Okay. And the members of Sabha was both male and female. These were the members. Okay. Even the female were also the members of Sabha during early Vedic age. Always remember, early Vedic age. I am not saying later Vedic age. Okay. Next comes Samiti. Samiti, usually what do they do? This assembly usually consists of large number of members, and they elect the chiefs. Okay. Chiefs. Because within Aryan civilization, within early Vedic age, there was lots of tribal clans, and those clans needed chief. So everything regarding the election of the chief was decided in Samiti. King was the head, and he used to elect the chief. Okay, but here there was no female member. Remember, in Samiti there is no female member. And the third one is Vidhata. Usually they decide about agriculture. Usually decide the matter about agriculture and religion. The assembly of Vidhata, usually they decide about the matters related to agriculture and religion. And both male and female as their member. So, this was the 3 important assembly that was practiced in early Vedic age. Now, there was a famous battle, the battle of Das Rajan. If you say Das Rajan, simply means battle of 10 kings. Battle of 10 kings at Parusini River. So why this battle was fought? There was an Aryan clan, Bharata. This was the Aryan clan, and the ruler of this Aryan clan was Sudas. Okay, Sudas was the ruler. So he had to choose a head Purohit, a head priest. Okay. From say Vishwamitra and Rishi Vasisth. These two were the competitor. Okay, out of this Vishwamitra and Rishi Vasisth, Sudas, he had to appoint one person as the head priest. Okay, so Sudas, what he did, he appointed Rishi Vasisth. So as soon as Rishi Vasishtha was appointed, Vishwamitra felt humiliated. Okay, he felt humiliated. Why he felt humiliated? Because he thought that I am more learned than this person. Okay, I know more than Rishi Vasishtha. So instead of him being the head priest, I should have been chosen. Okay, so he thought that he was humiliated. So he went to the 10 kings. Okay, he went to 10 kings. Out of these 10 kings, 5 kings were Aryans and 5 kings were non-Aryans. Okay, non-Aryans. Out of these, 5 kings were Aryans, 5 kings were non-Aryans. Vishwamitra approached these 10 kings, and all of them agreed Vishwamitra, and they waged a battle against Sudas. They went for a battle. Okay, they went for a battle against Sudas, and in the battle, they fought the battle at, as I told you, battle of 10 kings. They fought the battle at Parusini river, and these 10 kings were defeated by Sudas. Okay, Sudas defeated these 10 kings. Okay, and Vishwamitra. So after defeating, what he did, there was a division between these 10 kings, Aryans and non-Aryans. So these 10 kings were made slave. Okay, they were made slave by the Bharat kingdom, and Aryans, those 5 Aryan kingdom, they were known as Dasa. Okay, Dasa, D-A-S-A, Dasa, and non-Aryan, they were known as Dasyus. Okay, they were known as Dasyus. So we came to know about this word slave due to Rig Veda, because there is a hymn mentioned in Rig Veda, that is Dasyu Hatya. So from this we come to know that this Aryan Dasa, as they belong from same ethnic group, same linguistic group, they were given some important post. Okay, they were given some important post. But the non-Aryans, the Dasyus, they were killed, they were humiliated, they were the low caste person. Okay, they were looked as a very low caste, they were untouchable, they were kept out of the town. Okay, they were regarded as untouchables. So from this only there was distinction of caste system started. Okay, so this was the story, a short story about the battle of 10 kings, which held at Parusini river. Remember that, and it was fought between King Sudas and the 10 kings. Okay, it is a very important battle. So this was all about the polity of early Vedic age. Now coming to the next, that is society. So in this society, society in the early Vedic age was not divided on caste system. Rather, it was divided on profession. It was divided on profession. So it was divided on profession. How can, now you would be asking me, sir, how can you say that it was divided on profession? So this we came to know from Rig Veda, because in Rig Veda there is a hymn which says, I am a poet. Rig Veda, I am a poet. Okay, my father is a physician and my mother is a corn grinder. Okay, this was found in Rig Veda, and from this we can see that during the early Vedic age, there was no any caste system. The society was divided basing on profession, because from one family itself we can see that the son is a poet. He belongs from intellectual group. Poet simply means intellectual. Okay, he is from intellectual group. And the father, physician, service provider. He provides service provider. And the mother, maybe she is a merchant or a laborer. Okay, see, from one family itself there is a poet, there is a physician, as well as there is a corn grinder. And we can say that during early Vedic age there was no distinction of caste. Okay, you can take any profession. Even though my father is a king, I can be I can be a merchant, I can be a trader. It is my own wish. At that time there was no any restriction based on any profession, on practice of any profession. Okay, and this was about the division of the society. The society was patriarchal. Okay, society was patriarchal. Patriarchal simply means the kings, the heads of that clan, the kings would always be a male, not a female. Okay, male was always the head of that period. No female was given that position. She was allowed to participate in the assemblies, but she was not given this high post to be the king of that age. Okay, woman was respected, but during that period woman was respected. Woman was respected. As we can see that she was a member. Why she was respected? Because we have seen that she was a member of Sabha and Vidata. Sabha and Vidata. The women were educated. They were allowed to take education. And even Gandhara marriage system was allowed. Gandhara marriage system simply means the woman had the right to choose their spouse. Okay, you can choose your spouse. Nobody can come and force you. Okay, nobody can come and force you. Let you get married with another person whom you do not like. Okay, this was not there. So the Gandhara system marriage was in practice during early Vedic age society. Okay, not only this, we have seen that the women were given education, and one of the most learned philosopher of that time was Lopamudra. She was a learned woman during the time of early Vedic age, and she was the wife of sage Agastya. She was the wife of sage Agastya, and she was a very learned woman during early Vedic age. Okay. In early Vedic age, the head of the family was known as Kula. Okay, in early Vedic age, the family was known as Kula, and the head of the family was always the eldest son. Eldest son was the head of the family, and he was known as Kulappa. Okay, Kulappa. The family Kul, head, Kulappa, king, Rajan. Okay, these are the three important terms which you need to remember about early Vedic age. And every important decision of the family was taken by the eldest son, because he was the Kulappa, he was the head of the family. Okay, so this was in short the society of Indus Valley civilization. Now let us come to the last point, that is the religion sorry, not Indus Valley civilization. Yesterday I was teaching about Indus Valley civilization. Again now it is in my mouth again. Time and again Indus Valley. I am mentioning Indus Valley civilization. Sorry about that. So the last topic which we are going to discuss is about the religion of early Vedic age. There is, though we come to know that the people they practice religions, but there is no any evidence of temples, no evidence of temples और idols. Okay, idols में पुतला सुतला का कुछ evidence नहीं था. There is no any evidence. Okay, temple मंदिर नहीं था, ना ही पुतला सुतला ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था. Okay, but what did they did? What did the people of early Vedic did? Personally, they started personification of elements of nature like thunder, air, water, fire. Okay, so though there was no any evidence of temple, but the people started personification of elements of nature. Personification simply means इंसान का जगह दे दिया वो लोग को. ठीक है, जैसे इफ आई से पर्सोनिफिकेशन, हम एक पीपल ट्री को वहाँ पर इंसान का जगह दे दिया, उसको हम पूजा करते हैं. ठीक है, पीपल ट्री को. दिस इज पर्सोनिफिकेशन. दिस सिंपली मीन्स इंसान का जगह देना है. सो दे स्टार्टेड पर्सोनिफिकेशन ऑफ एलिमेंट्स लाइक thunder, air, water, fire. So they started worshipping all these things, and the prominent god of that period was, as they started personification, they started giving names also, names to the gods, and the prominent gods were one, Indra. Gods, prominent gods of early Vedic age was Indra. Indra was the god of thunder or rain. God of thunder or rain. Okay. Number 2, Agni, god of fire. God of fire. Number 3, Varuna, god of water. God of water. Number 4, Mitra, god of air. And Usan, god of sun. So see, the early Vedic age people, they started personification of elements of nature. So after personification, they started worshipping. They started worshipping the thunder, giving the name Indra. They started worshipping the fire, giving the name of god Agni. They started worshipping the water, giving the name Varun. They started worshipping the air and the sun. Okay, and they started worshipping them by reciting mantras. मंत्र बोलना शुरू किया, जैसे कि गायत्री मंत्र. Okay, sacrifices. और गायत्री मंत्र, especially गायत्री मंत्र, it is given in third mandal of Rig Veda. Okay, Gayatri mantra, it is given in Gayatri mantra. Gayatri mantra is given in the third mandal of Rig Veda. Actually, I haven't told you about Rig Veda. Rig Veda had 10 mandals. Okay, so out of this 10 mandal, 2 to 7 mandals was composed during early Vedic age, but number 1, number 8 and number 9 and number 10 was composed after the early Vedic age, that is in later Vedic age. So this was the gods, and they even worship goddesses also. Goddesses like Savitri, Aditi and Usa. So these are the three goddesses of early Vedic age and the gods of early Vedic age. So with this I complete the topic on early Vedic age. I think it is very it was a little bit lengthy, though then I have tried to give all those important points which is very necessary to keep in mind while you go for any examination. So tomorrow I think I will be taking the class on later Vedic period, because later Vedic period is also as important as early Vedic age. If you know the distinction between early Vedic age and later Vedic age, then it will be very easy for you to understand. So for that you need to know early Vedic age first, then we will move on to later Vedic age. Thank you. Please keep supporting me. Study hard.